We are back on the mountains in the wind. And some cold weather, hopefully just the one day, and then it should be nicer tomorrow. I'm gonna do a 15 today to try Corner Knob Shelter, and then a 15 tomorrow, or maybe an 18 if we're feeling really bold. But it is breezy today. Get moving, gonna see Charlie's Bunion. All very exciting things. And I'm packing out some pizza from Domino's, because where else? It's a whole ice rink though. It's Charlie's Bunion, that's where we're headed. Well, I just totally ate it. Going over a fallen tree. I like slid down the rocks and I hit my head. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's unpleasant. Just like, you fool, Time Lord. What are you doing? You're not watching where you're stepping. Anywho, hit my head pretty hard. Really glad we decided to change our plans. Instead of doing 15 today, we're gonna do a cool 10 and stop at the shelter. That's about a 2.5 mile walk from here, so that'll be good because definitely not feeling great. Like, hit my leg on the rocks and it's all like bruised, and frankly I'm a little dizzy, so I'm just gonna slowly mosey my way there and then lay down, take some Advil. Ooh, it does not look good. Oh boy. Well, just keep on keeping on, I guess. Wilderness first aid right here. It's an icicle because it's been so cold and rainy. Now I got an icicle as an ice pack. Wilderness first aid. Another day on the AT, headed 13 or maybe 16, maybe even 19, probably not, but who knows. Headed out of PECKS corner. Feeling okay. My head, you can kind of see there's like a solid lump on my forehead, and then I got a couple bumps and bruises on my leg, but overall feeling okay. Calves are still really tight, like just stopping and stretching a lot right now, and eating a honey bun. A lot of climbing today, but then almost entirely downhill tomorrow, so that's a win. And I better get going. It's not too crazy late, about 9 o'clock I think, and it's gonna be a good day. Oh, jeez. I'm stuck. Okay. And whew, yes, we're good. Well, after a long day debating where to go, where not to go on trail tonight, I decided to stay at COSBY shelter, which is a cool 13 miles. Then tomorrow might be a really big day, 17-ish, so really big, but feel all right. It's kind of cold. I'm gonna get my sleeping bag right now. It's early, like 6:45. Edit, because I'm way behind, and go to sleep. today nice and early. Got to watch a beautiful sunrise walking down the hill. Now headed to Standing Bear Farm. It's about 10 miles from where I was. And then gonna do another 7 miles up the hill on the other side to get to a shelter to try and avoid the rain. And that's a wrap on the Smokies. Came, conquered, heading on out. Let's see, 5.2. Yeah, and that is the end of the Smokies. It is a beautiful day. I am feeling phenomenal today for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the weather. Listen to a great playlist called The Vibe is Immaculate, because it truly is an immaculate day. And now I have a cool 3-ish miles to Standing Bear, where I'm gonna hang out for a little while, get some food, get a box, and then continue onwards and upwards. It is windy, but I'm almost to the top of this frickin' mountain. Then it's downhill to camp. I'm feeling little twigs.
No, it doesn't. It is not doing justice. The video's like, that's weak.
Well, it is a breezy night. The cracks in the trees are a little alarming. The widowmakers are plentiful. We're all gonna hang out in the shelter, hope for the best. We squeezed 9 people in the shelter that is built for 6. And it's gonna be a very interesting evening of some falling trees. Hopefully not on us. Well, I had a truly terrible night. The wind was ridiculous. The amount of trees we heard creaking and falling, and the branches that kept falling on the top of the shelter, it was awful. At about 6 a.m., a massive tree, we heard it fall, was like 10 feet from the shelter. Bad night. Bad night. But now I have a bit of a fire to try and walk a marathon today. 26 miles. Go all the way into Hot Springs today. Be there tonight. I'd probably be hiking into the night a little bit, which I'm fine with. And it's really just going to be, do I feel solid at mile 20 to do another 6 kind of a thing. Probably going to stop at this new hostel that popped up and get some lunch, which will be nice. And it's a lot of climbing today, which is not my favorite, but what goes up must come down. Well, the trail is obstructed. Unsure how to get through this disaster of a thing. I might go that way. That's where we were yesterday, or 2 days ago, way peak, far in the back. And it's really nice being up here without it being absolutely freezing cold. Love a good bit of night hiking. Nothing like it. Night hiking With rain, no doubt.
Hard. It's an experience.
It's an experience. Hiking in the rain. Night hiking in the rain. Good morning. After rolling in quite late to the Laughing Heart Hostel here in Hot Springs, kind of just showered and crashed on the couch. Now headed to find some possible trail magic breakfast. It's supposed to be somewhere in town. It's a little cold. I'm borrowing this phenomenal jacket and pants and an outfit in general from the hostel. Loving this jacket. If it wasn't so heavy, I'd take it with me. But gonna go for some pancakes. We can't find them. We're going to the diner. We might go to the diner anyway. Just have to wait and see. Walking through downtown Hot Springs after hanging at the hostel all morning. Gonna do my resupply. Gonna get some food. Got a milkshake. And then probably head back to the hostel. Seems like there might be some trail magic spaghetti dinner scenario happening tonight, so get some of that. Otherwise, just having a blast hanging out with people. It is a lovely morning here in Hot Springs. Not feeling too lovely, but we're gonna move on. The plan today is to leave, hike 12 miles to the shelter that's outside of town. Probably not gonna go until later, noonish probably. Not in any rush to get there. I'm content, and frankly, I'm exhausted and would much rather just hang out in town for the morning. So, headed to the diner. Flying solo today to the food. It's Cinnamon Bun Saturday, so that's pretty exciting. And then I gotta deal with some resupply stuff, get a sub sandwich to pack out, get a milkshake to pack out. Well, really, I'm just gonna drink it right then and there, but I'm gonna say I'm packing it out. And then, yeah, head on out. Well, I'm actually leaving. Got my milkshake, got my enormously heavy pack on, probably the heaviest it's ever been. So it's gonna be a really fun 12 miles, especially because I'm not super inclined to leave. Might go sit outside the Outfitter for a little bit, finish my shake, continue to convince myself to go hike. Well, I was walking out of town, and I walked across a woman out of the street market at the masseuse. And I was like, so tell me, what are you doing? And she was like, oh, I help fix people pretty much. And I'm like, okay, how much? She was like, a very reasonable price. I was like, sweet. So I laid down and I proceeded to be on my table for 2 hours because she was tenacious in getting massaging out those like knots in my back. Was beautiful. So now I'm not leaving today because it wasn't like a nice gentle like Swedish massage. No, it was like a deep tissue. She got in there and worked those knots out. So slight soreness, and it's also 2:30, so it's getting a little late. So I get my wish of another 0 here in lovely Hot Springs. Very weird day. Good and bad. Started off not so great. Got progressively better. I am headed to sleep now. Gonna get up in the morning, get a shuttle ride up the trail about 15 miles. Gonna skip this little section and catch back up with my friends tomorrow. Gonna hit the 300-mile marker also, which is quite exciting. Again, skipping this section, I would much rather stay with my friends than re-hike this little portion. I don't want to make a habit of skipping parts, but for this first little bit, because I've already hiked these miles, I'm a little more lenient, and frankly, I'd much rather just be able to see my friends again and hang out with them while also taking care of myself, so it works out. And yeah, my back kind of hurts for that massage, but honestly, it was probably the greatest massage I've ever had in my entire life. So, worth it. And had a great night in Hot Springs, hung out with the people here at the hostel, went to the tavern, went to the brewery, went to Dollar General, got some ice cream, hung out back at the house, and it was a great night. So, very excited to go to sleep, rather tired after the last few days, and then ready to get back on the mountain tomorrow.